knows why I'm here.
He raped her and her daughter. And they're saying cops did it.
NYPD! Gangsters posing as cops.
That's front page news. Help us punish them.
I'm going to do everything in my power to find these people.
Everybody run for cover! Go, go! Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Trevor Noah, NBC Tonight.
They say the real measure of a leader is in how he treats his people. But at Tim Michael's company,
these allegations span over 2 decades.
Women say they were groped.
A male superior groped the crotch and inner thigh of a female employee.
Assaulted and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed.
And when co-workers spoke up, they say they were fired. So if that's the kind of leader Tim Michaels is, how do you think he'd lead the state?
Cellcom's live local customer service is just a call or click away, so it's always clear where you can get help. What's not clear is why you just went down to the basement.
What did I?
Why you went downstairs? Unclear. Easy access to the customer care you deserve? Crystal clear. Cellcom. Clarity in a cloudy world. Save 50% on select smartphones at Cellcom September 30th through October 31st. Taxes due at sale. Restrictions apply. Visit cellcom.com/deals for details.
On our broadcast tonight, Senator Ron Johnson and Mandela Barnes faced off. We'll have a recap of what they discussed during tonight's debate. Plus, gun deer hunting season is just around the corner. We'll explain how to stay safe with chronic wasting disease growing. And fire tower lookouts used to be prevalent throughout the Northwoods. In tonight's Connecting the Dots, we'll delve into the history of the steel structures. Your local news starts right now.
News Watch 12 with Jessica Jukic and Conrad Sapinski.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 10. I'm Jessica Jukic. Tonight, Republican Senator Ron Johnson and Democratic challenger Mandela Barnes held their final debate. The two faced off in Milwaukee with each candidate getting personal. Barnes went on the attack, saying Johnson has, quote, done nothing while in office other than lining his own pockets by supporting former President Trump's tax cuts. Johnson accused Barnes of abusing taxpayer money by racking up $608,000 in security detail during his first 3 years in office. They also discussed Social Security, January 6th, and abortion. Johnson and Barnes are in a tight race, which would determine which party controls the Senate. It's fall, but it feels like winter out there. Conrad, how long will this chilly weather last?
It does, right? It's only middle of October, and it's already jacket season. Oh, my gosh. Right? But, yes, temperatures are looking cold. Let's take a look outside right now. 30s and 40s all across the Midwest and the upper Midwest due to a cold front that passed by and really cooled us off. All of us are in the 30s and 40s right now. And now taking a look in Wisconsin, even cooler temperatures. 35 right now in Rhinelander, same thing in Eagle River, 34 in Anago, Stevens Point coming in at 39 degrees. So we are all in those 30s, a couple of pockets of 40s right now, but everybody is starting to cool down. Some lighter rain showers, a couple of snowflakes are actually starting to mix in as those temperatures continue to plummet into the 20s overnight. Don't worry, this will not be accumulating. This is all very light, and it will be moving out of the region. Wind speeds are not looking too bad, but taking a look, they are all blowing from the west. So winds will continue to be on the breezy end tonight as temperatures continue to drop into the 20s. Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. 3 arrests have been made in Forest County after an overdose was reported Thursday. The Forest County Sheriff's Office responded to a home in Crandon and found one unresponsive man. Authorities administered Narcan, and the man was taken to a local hospital. Law enforcement officers executed a search warrant at the residence and found fentanyl, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. Aaron Morris, Adina Whitecloud, and Megan Mahalko were arrested. All three face felony charges of endangering safety as well as possession and delivery of substances. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services announced fentanyl test strips have been distributed to organizations around the state. The DHS says more than 120,000 fentanyl test strips went out in an effort to fight the rising drug overdoses. Fentanyl test strips are dipped into drug residue that's dissolved in water. Within minutes, a person can know whether the drug contains fentanyl. The fentanyl test strips do not provide information about the amount or strength of fentanyl in a drug. Wisconsin is offering grants for workforce development. The Wisconsin Fast Forward grants are getting a $3 million boost in funding to train unemployed, underemployed, or existing workers. Public agencies, private organizations, coalitions, partnerships, and tribal governing bodies can apply for the grant. Grants will be awarded in $5,000 to $400,000 increments. Applications are due by November 16th. Meat processing plants across the state of Wisconsin are getting a boost in funding. Today, Governor Tony Evers announced $10 million is going to 91 meat processors. It's part of the newly created Meat and Poultry Supply Chain Resilience Grant Program. The money will help the industry improve its long-term viability of the state's livestock industry. 7 local meat processors from 6 counties were selected for the funding. It's being paid for through ARPA funding. It's fall, and that means that gun deer hunting season is about to begin. The season kicks off on November 19th and will run through November 27th. DNR wildlife biologist Curtis Roman says favorable weather conditions may make this year's hunt better than last year.
It's very warm, just not conducive for hunting and for butchering up deer after you do get one. So this year, the weather's been cooler. The weather was cooler for the youth season as well. And we're just seeing higher harvest trends because of it.
Despite the positive outlook for hunting season, the DNR is still warning hunters about the dangers of chronic wasting disease. Rollman says the disease continues to spread consistently across the state.
More deer are becoming positive. There's more infected deer on the landscape, and it's also spreading geographically. So it's spreading north out of that southern area and then spreading what we call sparks across the north as well. So there's this spark in Oneida County and then another positive that actually just showed up in Vilas County last hunting season. So both spreading in numbers and geographically.
Rollman recommends that all hunters get their deer tested in order to slow the spread of chronic wasting disease. A group of Lac du Flambeau canoe builders returned from Purdue University Wednesday after being in residency to show off their work, which has taken a year to build. Wayne Valliere has built over 30 canoes, this being his 39th. He says through a year's worth of building his canoe, he and his apprentices learned skills and history of the Ojibwe people.
Building a birch bark canoe, it takes a whole year because we gathered the materials for the canoe through in different seasons. In June we get the bark, and in the fall we get the cedar.
The group of builders included Valliere, 8 students, including 1 in high school, and 3 other adults from Lac du Flambeau. Valliere says building the canoe far from Wisconsin posed certain challenges that he and his team were ready to take on.
Each one of these projects really challenges us, because it's very easy for us to build a birch bark canoe in northern Wisconsin, but we take those materials and preserve them and take them states away.
The finished canoe was presented at Indigenous Peoples Day, where the Waswakogani crew launched the canoe into the Wabash River. ACT scores are slipping. We'll explain what's to blame. And fire tire lookouts were a common sight throughout the Northwoods. We'll have a look at their uses in this week's Connecting the Dots. That's after weather right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Northwoods Furniture, Eagle River.
At Batteries Plus, we do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. Need a phone fixed? We got it. Get powered in-store, curbside, and at batteriesplus.com.
Moondeer and Friends Gallery in downtown Boulder Junction offers an eclectic mix of contemporary fine art and craft, antiques, professional custom frame service, and many other smaller gift items, featuring the work of gallery owner Sarah Mender, as well as over 150 other regional artists.
punishing inflation, retirement savings evaporating, home values crashing, and Mandela Barnes is oblivious. Barnes just supported a massive tax increase on middle-class families and an army of IRS agents to go get every penny. Barnes also supported Biden's student loan forgiveness plan that cost every taxpayer $2,000. $2,000 less to survive on. Can you afford Mandela Barnes? Wisconsin Truth Tech is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet and mobile provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers speeds up to a gig with over 99.9% network reliability. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G and the most reliable service coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things. It's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
It's Thursday, almost the weekend. Woo, it is chilly outside. Go out, enjoy the campfire, maybe a bonfire. Definitely perfect weather for that. Temperatures are in the 30s, associated with a cold front that actually came by and really cooled us off. Right from Canada, 20s and 30s moved in. Look at down south, even Tennessee is in on those cooler temperatures. Lots of blue is starting to rule the country. That means cold, cold temperatures. It is only October, but temperatures right now, we're in the 30s and 40s earlier today. It was really cold. Our average high this time of year, closer to 56 degrees. So our average low, 35 degrees. It seems like these are morning lows, but no, these were actually high temperatures outside. Take a look at our record low temperature in 1993. It was 19 degrees. Wow, it was frigid outside. Not as cold as back in the days, but still 30s across the region. That is chilly. Definitely put on a jacket or two, maybe a hat, because it will be even colder by the morning hours. Right now, we're all in those mid-30s. Couple of upper 20s are starting to show up there. But take a look at our temperature trend. The next several days will be cold. Tomorrow's another chilly one. 36 as a high, a little bit warmer by the weekend. Not quite. Look at Monday, first day of the week, 36 degrees, 38 on Tuesday, then slightly a warm-up by Wednesday and Thursday, still into those mid-40s, so don't put away those jackets just yet, because cooler weather has arrived. And we actually have lots of precipitation in the area. Take a look at the East Coast. Oh my gosh, lots of precipitation. This is a lot of rain, but here, not much. Just some scattered showers and even some scattered snow showers closer to Canada. Same thing in Minnesota. That is a scene we haven't seen in a long, long time. The white showing up there, the blues, those are snow showers mixing in with a little bit of rain. Nothing to really worry about tonight for us, as right now in the region there are a couple of sprinkles, some snowflakes mixing in with some of these showers. It is still above freezing, so whatever is falling will not be accumulating, and whatever does fall, maybe on grass surfaces, a dusting or two will quickly melt away. So nothing to worry about, but there will be more chances ahead by Friday and then into Saturday. Then Saturday during the day we're in the clear. Then a couple more chances Sunday, especially Sunday night into Monday. Those temperatures on Monday, high temperatures only in the mid-30s. So that is enough to support some snow showers. Doesn't look like much because it won't be much, maybe half an inch at most, and then it will quickly melt away as everything is warm. And then additional maybe half an inch or so. Sunday night into Monday, this is all going to melt very quickly as the ground is still too warm, maybe on these grass surfaces. Tonight, though, temperatures will drop back down, so cuddle in. It will be chilly. Temperatures around 27 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and maybe a couple of flurries might be possible. And our 7-day outlook does show lots of cold temperatures sticking around all the way down the week. Look at the weekend, 40s and then 36 by Monday. Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. College-bound students who took the ACT posted the lowest average scores in 31 years. The organization behind the standardized exam used in college admissions says the pandemic is likely to blame for the lower scores. A spokesperson for the ACT points out that many students were dealing with remote learning through their sophomore, junior, and senior years. The lower scores for the standardized college exam corresponds with data from elementary schools during the COVID-19 pandemic. The average scores for 9-year-olds in 2022 showed the largest decline in reading since 1990 and the first ever decline in math. A UPS driver is being recognized for years of hard work. In Lac du Flambeau today, Robin Islow is retiring after working for the delivery company for 47 years. Tomorrow's Islow's last official day of delivering packages, but not before being surprised by students at Lac du Flambeau School who gave him a warm welcome this morning. School staff got in contact with Robin's boss to coordinate the surprise greeting, waiting patiently for the big brown truck to arrive. Robin was asked by the students what his favorite parts about working for UPS were over the past 47 years.
And one of the things is I get to see all these people, these wonderful people. And I was fortunate enough to be up here at Lac du Flambeau. And you are the kindest people I've ever met.
He went on to say that in retirement, he would stay busy with a long to-do list. Islow began working for UPS in 1975 and has been delivering since the 1980s to everywhere imaginable, including schools just like Lac du Flambeau. Congratulations to Islow on his long career. Some local high school sports were being played today. Coming up on Newswatch 12, Saul Meyer is here to give us some highlights.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale and get the best for free. Through Saturday, get free installation on our best-selling carpet, free estimates, and interest-free financing. That's right. Free carpet installation, free estimates, and interest-free financing. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center. Come see why contractors and designers choose Carpet City Flooring Center for their flooring needs and get the best for free.
Carpet City, our prices will floor you.
When Kenosha burned, Tony Evers fanned the flames.
He blamed police.
When we needed help, he refused.
For days.
I know.
Because we were there.
Evers puts politics over our lives.
Over your lives.
That's why we support Tim Michaels.
As a veteran, Tim Michaels won't abandon us.
Tim Michaels will have our back.
And stand strong against violent crime.
We're with Tim.
In the Senate, Ron Johnson pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself and his donors.
Did my business benefit? Sure. Did some of my donor businesses? Sure.
But here's what Johnson's doing to us. He voted to raise the retirement age and allow cuts to Social Security. Even supports letting Wisconsin ban nearly all abortions and said, if you don't like it, you can move. Ron Johnson works for himself, never us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Light up your workspace with a new work light from Smart Electrician. This 10,000 lumen LED work light is super bright, weather resistant, and portable. Shine light where you need it with 11% off all work lights. Get your yard work done with a new powerful leaf blower from Works. Works power tools make fall cleanup projects quick and easy. All Works outdoor power tools are 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Coming up on your Friday, meet another furry friend for this week's Homeward Bound.
And rain and snow showers on the way for your Friday. Some accumulation is possible. It won't stick around long. I know you don't like that, but we'll have more when you tune in on your Friday edition of the show.
There was a great Northern Conference swim meet earlier today between Lakeland Union and Tomahawk at Lakeland Union High School. So why don't we dive in to some of the highlights and see which team came out on top. In a swim meet from earlier today, Tomahawk traveled up to Minocqua where they took on the small team of Lakeland Union, which consisted of only 2 swimmers. The T-Bird swim team may be small in numbers, but they were large in heart as they didn't give up the whole meet and won almost every event they competed in. However, the heart wasn't enough, and Tomahawk came away with the overall win 74-22. Leading swimmer for Tomahawk was Paige D. Kep, finishing first in 3 events, and the lead swimmer for Lakeland Union was Olivia Mikel, who had 2 first-place finishes. Now on to some more swimming meets from around our area that we couldn't get to. Medford hosted Mosinee and won 93-56. This was the last meet for both Medford and Mosinee before they head to Tomahawk for a Great Northern Conference meet next Friday at 5. Moving on from Lakeland Union's pool to their soccer pitch for a match with Mosinee. Here in the first half, Tyler Tharman gets the ball and is looking to go Steph Curry from way downtown. Booted so hard the goalie can't corral it initially before finally pulling it in. Later that half, Tharman gets aggressive again and shoots, but it was just a bit outside. Here on a free kick, ball gets launched to guess who? Tharman with another great opportunity, but it's stuffed by the keeper. But check this out. 23rd minute from the 20-yard line, and holy moly, a rocket from Tharman in the top right corner of the goal puts the T-Birds up 1-0. Adding another goal from Yaroslav in the second half, and Lakeland Union wins this one 2-0. Now for some more soccer games that we couldn't get to. First off, the Great Northern Conference champs Medford hosted Northland Pines, which was a team looking to get back in the win column. And in what some would call the upset of the century, Northland Pines won this one 1-0. Next, another big GNC matchup. Anago looking for their first conference win of the season when they headed up to Rhinelander, who has been hot this season. In a battle of hot versus cold, hot won this one as the Hodags take out Anago in 60 minutes by a score of 8-0. Breaking news coming out of Amherst today. The Amherst Falcons high school football team had to forfeit all of their wins this season due to an ineligible player. The player was deemed ineligible because he competed for another school district in 2018, and as a result, this makes them ineligible for the playoffs. Good news, Packers fans. Aaron Rodgers was a full participant in practice today and is listed as healthy for Sunday's game against the Jets. Now that that story is over, no big storylines have developed for this week's game, so we can all relax and wait for Sunday. Wrong. We've got a little sibling rivalry on our hands. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur is set to go head-to-head with his brother Mike, who is the offensive coordinator for the Jets. Now, I am unofficially referring to this game on Sunday as the LaFleur Bowl. Coach LaFleur says he talks to his brother on a weekly basis, but will absolutely not be giving him any helpful hints or plays for this week's game.
I'm not going to give him any pointers, I think, the week that we're playing each other either. So, but no, he's a guy that, you know, I talk to on a regular basis. You know, I care about him. I want all those guys to do well. I love him. I love Saleh and a lot of their coaches on that staff.
Coach LaFleur and his brother are set to go head-to-head this Sunday at noon. We'll be right back after the break.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Today, it seems everyone can be their own service technician thanks to the internet.
From servicing their own cars and engines to home remodels and projects, people are trying a little of everything. Here at Maher Water Corporation, we employ nationally certified and factory-trained technicians to keep your water treatment systems working to their full lives. We will treat you like our own family.
So if you want us to service your equipment, give us a call. But if you're the fix-it-yourself kind of person, we'll enjoy your funny video clips.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Did you know Tim Michaels pledged to cut millions from public schools?
We're already throwing so much money at education.
He'll drain classrooms and gut school funding. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
Fire towers were common throughout the Northwoods. In 2015, the towers were decommissioned. In this week's Connecting the Dots, Carrie Bladorn explains the history of the towers and how they prevented fires in the past.
Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwood's history with Carrie Bladorn is brought to you by Fourth Floral, Mel's Trading Post, Rhinelander Brewing Company, and Ripco Credit Union.
Odds are you've seen a fire tower while driving around northern Wisconsin. Maybe you've wondered about their history. What does it look like from up there? Are they still in use? Wisconsin once had a vast fire tower lookout network, mostly in the forested and most fire-prone regions of the state. At the height of their use, 119 towers dotted the landscape. These steel structures were manufactured by the Aeromotor Company in Chicago, Illinois, which specialized in windmills used on farms. Many of the towers we see standing today were built during the 1930s by the young men of the Civilian Conservation Corps. They didn't use cranes or safety harnesses, just one piece at a time, bolted together by hand. They also staffed them in the early years, along with their forest firefighting duties. Here we are at Hodag Tower, just outside Rhinelander, one of the towers that was once part of the first line of defense in forest fire prevention. I have my friend Jake with me today. We both staffed fire towers years ago, so it will be fun to go up to the top again. Let's climb up and have a look. Some towers were built with stairs, but most had a ladder like this one. It's a long climb to the underside of the cab above. Finally, up a small ladder and through a hatch, and we've reached the top. Once inside, the fire tower lookout monitored the forest between their tower and the horizon. The views from a lookout tower are unparalleled, as they are often built on the highest ground in the area. Depending on weather conditions, you can see up to 10 miles or more. If a smoke was sighted, the lookout used a compass table situated at the center of the cab and binoculars to pinpoint its location. Its azimuth and distance was called into a dispatch center. Other towers in the network would identify and report the same smoke, allowing the dispatch center to triangulate the location of a potential fire using a big map on the wall. With such large expanses of forest to monitor, forestry personnel could be quickly sent to inspect and fight the fire if necessary. Manned from May to September for many decades, their staffing was reduced to the peak forest fire season, between snowmelt and green-up in the spring. Wisconsin's fire lookout towers served their purpose for over 75 years. In 2015, the 72 aging towers still in use were decommissioned. Today, the Wisconsin DNR monitors its forest for fires from above by airplane, relegating its towers to the history books. Some have been dismantled, but many remain as a monument to their service. A few are open to the public, including one near Mountain, Wisconsin. It's open daily until October 31st, so go check it out. The views are worth the climb. I'm Carrie Bladorn, and this is Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwood's history on Newswatch 12.
Connecting the Dots, Reliving Northwood's History with Carrie Bladorn is brought to you by Fourth Floral, Mel's Trading Post, Rhinelander Brewing Company, and Ripco Credit Union.
Thank you for watching Connecting the Dots on WJFW. If you have any Northwoods history you'd like to see covered on this program, feel free to send me a message on my Facebook page, Carrie Bladorn, Northwoods Historian, or email me at northwoodshistorian@gmail.com.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Get 2.49% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
There's nothing like volunteering, but my moderate to severe eczema can make it hard.
Now, I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, so you can have clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Carl Valetsky brutally shot and decapitated his wife with a large kitchen knife. Mark Ketterhagen